Welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your weekly episodic news show under the name of Behind the Mic. This is episode number 19, and of course this is the show where we cover all the news in the WWE wrestling world in general, mostly WWE, probably WWE every single week, because that's what we cover on the channel. Of course, Raw and Smackdown reviews every single week. Those are currently up and running on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. If you want to go check those videos out right there. Of course, we have this Behind the Mic every single Saturday, so make sure to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe what you're thinking about all the news. But we're going to go into the news here, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean, there's really not much of it, bro. There's really not much of the news in any sort of way. There's really a dry, fucking bare bones news story out there. It's just really nothing to report. And I mean, you can expect that, bro. You can expect that when WWE is literally doing nothing exciting. I mean, their ratings are down. That's a news story right there. We've got news on Roman Reigns winning the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz. That's another one right there. And really, none of these news stories are very exciting. They're really not. Shane McMahon talking about how guys in the WWE, how these boys in the locker room are restricted in what they can do, in what they can say. They're afraid of trying new things. JBL and his bullying continues on SmackDown Live. We got a news story on that. A big update on Chris Jericho's WWE return, and this one literally has zero to fucking do with anything going on in the WWE, but it's interesting, bro. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson running for president. So we've got all sorts of news here on Behind the Mic, but just not very interesting news. I'm gonna tell it to you how it is. Not very exciting news that we can speculate about, but really not much. I really had to dig in to find these interesting tidbits. Roman Reigns and The Miz. I mean, we're going to talk about that one. But to find these interesting tidbits of news, I really had to dig deep. And I mean, really, I shouldn't have to. But I had to, because really nothing exciting is going on in the WWE. This time last year, we had AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns going into Extreme Rules. The Intercontinental Championship was in a great position. Cesaro, The Miz, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, a fatal four-way. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was just coming up from NXT. There was a lot of exciting things going on. This time last year, Seth Rollins had made his return at Extreme Rules as well. So a lot of people were coming back from injury. The WWE was reshaping. Now you are really falling into a slump, and this should be a more exciting time of the year where new storylines are being built, new things are being seen, new fucking ventures are being taken, but none of that is going on, and we're going to talk about that right here today on Behind the Mic as well with the news. Probably going to include that during The Miz and Roman Reigns, which I am going to talk about right now. So let's go straight into the news stories on Behind the Mic. Roman Reigns to win the Intercontinental Championship from The Miz. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? This article is saying that it is strange but awesome. No, it is just strange and, quite frankly, bullshit. There's been quite a bit of confusion and a few change-ups in the WWE as injuries are starting to pile up and other superstars are taking some time off. On Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns is still the guy, and he is in the spotlight even more after Braun Strowman's injury, which will keep him out of action for a couple months. With that feud out of the way, Reigns is now moving on to an unexpected opponent, and it is quite awesome. Not really, bro. Not really. Not if you ask me or anybody with a brain, that is. Roman Reigns was due to keep his feud with Braun Strowman going for at least one more month, as an ambulance match was set to happen at Extreme Rules. Reigns was due to lose that match so the Giant could go into a program with Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal title, but that is now on hold. With Braun gone, Reigns needs something to do, and rumors state that his next feud is one that was due to happen this summer, but it has now been moved up. According to Bill Batty of Wrestling Inc., Reigns is going to be moving straight into a new Monday Night Raw program with The Miz. I had no idea that Monday Night Raw and Vince McMahon and anybody booking the show wanted to make The Miz the biggest babyface in the company. I really had no idea, man. I really had no idea, because anybody feuding with Roman Reigns is by default going to be cheered into the building while Reigns is being booed out of it, bro. It really is. This program was set to begin after Extreme Rules, but circumstances are causing WWE to move up its start date and get it going now. The Miz has been in a feud with Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose ever since both landed on Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. According to the sources for Wrestling Inc., The Miz was rumored to win the title from Ambrose and eventually lose it to Reigns later this summer. Now this next line over here is where I take fucking issue. The point of Roman Reigns winning the Intercontinental title is so that his main event match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 will have more meaning. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? You're telling me that for a year you are going to keep this championship, this Universal Championship, on Brock Lesnar, and you're going to keep the Intercontinental Championship, what right now is the most important championship on Raw because of the fact that Lesnar is not there. You're telling me, because you know Roman Reigns isn't going to defend it, you know who the hell is Roman Reigns going to defend that Intercontinental Championship against, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You know Reigns ain't gonna defend it, so you're telling me you're gonna keep both these title hostage for a year? You're gonna keep it from guys who deserve it. A Bray Wyatt, a Finn Balor, a Seth Rollins, a Dean Ambrose, a Miz, to give it to Roman Reigns? Are you fucking kidding me? Is WWE so obsessed with Roman Reigns having a title? Why does this guy need a title? You're still putting him in main event after main event after main event. It's not stopping you, bro. He was in the main event of WrestleMania. There was no title on the line there. Just a couple weeks ago, what was the last pay-per-view? I don't even remember. Payback. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. That was your main event. Fastlane. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. I believe that was your main event of Payback as well. I mean, he's been in... No, the main event of Payback was Goldberg and Kevin Owens. I can't even remember because the things going on are so useless. But, I mean, Roman Reigns has been main eventing pay-per-views regardless, bro. So why does this guy need a title to solidify that? You don't. You simply don't need a title to solidify that. And, I mean, the fact that you're planning on making this guy a Grand Slam champion have this guy hold the Intercontinental title for 10 months, to have him go into WrestleMania, win the Universal Championship. Hell, give him all the fucking gold, bro. Give him all the gold. I mean, what I would do is have this guy go and face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Or have Braun Strowman come back and try to fit something in, but still that doesn't make sense. You've booked yourself into a position where the only match that makes sense is the match that nobody wants to see. So why not just get it over with? Instead of keeping the Universal Championship hostage for all these months, why don't you put it on a guy who's actually going to be on television, because nobody wants to see that match at WrestleMania 34. Have it be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Reigns wins it. You get it over with. Doesn't need to be a fucking 15th coronation of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. You get this crap over with, and you have Roman Reigns win the Universal title, and you go on and do bigger and better things with the title at WrestleMania. I don't know, Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns? That doesn't ring a bell. When Finn Balor beat Roman Reigns on the first Raw after the draft, Reigns said, "We're going to do this again. Another fight between us is inevitable. I will be back, and I will beat you, Balor." And Balor still has not been giving his rematch for the Universal Championship, the title he never lost. So, I mean, doesn't it make sense? Reigns, Balor, Mania. Balor wins. You solidify Balor as your next top babyface. But I wouldn't be surprised if WWE actually did go with that, and then Roman Reigns just beats Balor. You're fucking kidding me, bro. You're fucking kidding me. How far up this guy's ass is the WWE? I don't understand, man. I simply do not understand. It's just a bunch of fucking bullshit at this point. Let's continue this goddamn article here. Jesus, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe that this company could be so idiotic. Where was I in this article here? Yes. So, the point of Reigns winning the Intercontinental title, just to repeat this, the point of Reigns winning the Intercontinental title is so that his main event match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 will have more meaning. The main event of WrestleMania, the Universal Championship, biggest championship on Raw, that's not enough meaning, though. That's not enough meaning. No, it needs more, because it's Roman Reigns, and you gotta give this guy the fucking world. He's the best competitor. He's the best thing to happen since sliced bread, bro. I don't understand. WWE is planning on pushing that match to have Reigns going over after the only major title he has never won, the Universal Championship. Right now, The Miz is set to challenge Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship on next week's Monday Night Raw. It isn't 100% certain if the company still plans to put the title on The Miz, but we'll know that in less than a week. As for Ambrose, it appears that he's moving into a program with Bray Wyatt, but then again, Wyatt's supposed to feud with Finn Balor soon. This makes no sense to me, bro. This makes no sense. So you're going to take the title off Ambrose, you're going to put it on The Miz. Miz was going to be like a 7-time Intercontinental Champion, by the way. What the fuck, bro? But, you're going to take it off Ambrose, put it on The Miz, just to put it on Reigns. Makes no sense. I'd rather see Reigns take it directly from Ambrose. It would be a better match. It would be a better match than Miz and Reigns. Can you imagine that? That would be a shit fucking match right there. I cannot imagine the style of The Miz going into it with Roman Reigns. Only way I see that match going is Superman punch, spear, Superman punch, Superman fucking punch. It's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous the way that WWE books Roman Reigns. This is terrible, bro. This is absolutely terrible. But as for Ambrose, continuing this article, with different superstars, here we are, with different superstars taking time off and injuries popping up, Raw and SmackDown Live are in a bit of turmoil as many changes need to be made. It is difficult to know if the fans would take to a feud between The Miz and Roman Reigns, as one is heel and the latter is hated by most. WWE may be in a problem when both guys are booed out of the building. Miz isn't going to be booed out of the fucking building. He's going to be the biggest babyface in the company, bro. He's going to be the biggest babyface in the company. Then again, the fans who hate Reigns may really take to The Miz and his promos, which will likely cut him down to size. No matter what, this program was going to take place at some point this summer, so it was inevitable. The injury to Strowman has simply pushed it up by a couple months. I would love to see the promos of The Miz cut down Roman Reigns, but knowing the WWE, are they even going to let that happen? Because God forbid somebody attack their precious big dog. Oh my God, look at what The Miz is saying. The hatred. No, no, no. I could imagine WWE doing exactly fucking that, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Then again, the fans who hate Reigns, no, we already read this. Roman Reigns, here we are. Roman Reigns has been pushed to the moon and back in WWE for the last 3 years, and it is no surprise that they're continuing with it. Despite the falling ratings, there are injuries and absences that leave the company no choice but to keep him at the top of the ladder. With Braun Strowman out for a couple months, it seems only reasonable for WWE to move on to Reigns' feud with The Miz in time for Extreme Rules. But will fans care at all? No, they won't. This feud will be a failure if it is attempted. The amount of plot holes you're leaving here. What are you going to do with Ambrose? I mean, Wyatt is in a feud with Miz, so you're not going to put Ambrose in a feud with Wyatt. There's really no fucking way to go around this. WWE seems to be completely clueless on what they want to do, and I mean, people are saying that the absence of Braun Strowman really isn't going to affect them. Look at the way it's affecting them now. They are coming up with Roman Reigns versus The Miz as their plans for this summer. This summer, if you ask me, is looking terrible, according to this rumor. For now, let's move on to the next news story before I fucking pop a blood vessel, before I just, I don't know, bro, fucking reading this story, before I just fucking explode just reading this story. So, let's move on here with the news story. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson thinking of running for president. Wow, look at that one. Wow, look at that one. This is obviously not real. This is obviously a PR move, but I mean, let's discuss it, bro, because really, there is no news. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson thinking of officially leaving the WWE and Hollywood for good and seriously making a run for the Oval Office? President Johnson, as in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is that a possibility in 2020 or 2024? After some recent comments made by the mega superstar himself, many folks are wondering if this is a real possibility or just a bunch of chatter that has no chance of becoming a reality. I prefer the latter. Anyways, before you dismiss this as a possible joke, just remember that Ronald Reagan went from Hollywood to the White House. In addition, former professional wrestler, actor, naval veteran, and television host Jesse Ventura served as the 30th governor of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003, and businessman and reality star Donald Trump is the current sitting commander-in-chief. So anything is possible. According to the Washington Post, what started out as a joke could become very real as time passes. In his recent interview with GQ magazine, Johnson explains how all of this came about and how the current A-list Hollywood star began thinking about running for office more seriously. Quote, "There was a real sense of earnestness," I don't know what the hell that word is, earnestness, "which made me go home and think, let me really rethink my answer and make sure I am giving an answer that is truthful and also respectful," Johnson told GQ's Katie Weaver. "I didn't want to be flippant," he added, "about what his platform might be, such as giving joke responses like, well, have 3 days off for a weekend or no taxes. So after all that consideration, Johnson doesn't hesitate when I ask him whether he honestly might one day give up his life as the highest paid movie star on earth, which is unquestionably easier, more fun, and more lucrative than being the president of the United States. In order to run for office, I think that is a real possibility, he says solemnly. So is there a real possibility of The Rock getting into the political arena, or is the WWE star acting it up? Johnson seems sincere with his remarks, and he may even have a possible political career ahead of him if he chooses. But would the on-again, off-again WWE star and full-time Hollywood actor want to throw away a great life for all of the stress that the job of being president of the United States can bring? It certainly would be a big change for WWE fans, as well for all of The Rock's fans of his big screen performances. The Rock still makes rare WWE appearances on Raw and occasional pay-per-view events, and he is still one of the most popular wrestlers in the WWE. Obviously, the WWE and the big screen would be put on hold for the rest of his political career. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. For the rest of his political career, Dwayne is not going to do that, bro. Dwayne is not going to do that, but, where the hell am I? Where the hell am I here? Obviously, this would be put on hold. The WWE and the big screen would be put on hold for at least 4 years if Johnson won the presidential election. Just like President Trump before him, Johnson has odds listed for him to win the 2020 election, currently listed at 100 to 1, which is up from 200 to 1 last November. It seems that the sports book Paddy Power is taking Johnson's comments a bit more seriously. President Trump was listed at 5,000 to 1 at one point, which is, I understand that. While there are several other celebrities listed on the 2020 presidential odd boards, including Tom Brady, Vince McMahon, imagine that, and Kim Kardashian, Johnson is certainly the only one of those names that can be taken seriously. His odds may even shrink more as 2017 comes to a close if he continues to mention the possibility of throwing his hat into the ring. Although The Rock is much more of a part-time player now in the WWE, he is listed at 80 to 1 odds to win the 2018 Royal Rumble. Can you picture Dwayne The Rock Johnson running for president in 2020? In this day and age, you can never say never when it comes to politics. We've certainly seen crazier things in this earth, but really, this is just a PR move. Rock, if he is throwing any validity at this, it's just because, somebody like The Rock, he wants to say in the eyes of the public. Furious 8 came out, it's still in the theaters. The Rock running for president, I want to go see his new movie. It's just a PR move, keeping the name Dwayne Johnson in the eyes of the crowd. And look at this. I'm reporting it over here. Look at me. This small ass channel's reporting it. Every big channel is reporting it on YouTube. It's getting in the name of the people, and it's just keeping the name The Rock in public eyes and ears. And can you fucking blame him? The Rock is just doing this for publicity. He's just saying what he needs to say to keep his name out there between movies. And you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't believe that The Rock would ever become president, but hell, watch 2020 come around and we are fucking seeing The Rock taking the office, bro, beating out Donald Trump for his second term and taking the Oval Office as his new throne. But we'll see about that. I don't know. The insane popularity of The Rock could probably drive him to a presidential win, but I fucking doubt it. From WWE star to President of the United States, I doubt it. Let's move on here. JBL just does not know when to shut the fuck up, and this story is a perfect example of that. This guy is a complete asshole, head to toe. JBL, with what he did to Mauro Ranallo, with this bullying situation with Mauro Ranallo, and to this with Sami Zayn. Oh my God, is this guy a piece of dog shit? It really is. He really is a piece of crap, this guy JBL. Let me pull up the story here. JBL continues his bullying, this time with Sami Zayn. This, of course, the last incident was on Smackdown Live, and this show, which, if you're going to bring it to the table, you should leave JBL off of the fucking table, bro, because this guy do not know when to shut the fuck up. The JBL bullying scandal seems to be something the WWE doesn't seem to care much about. Mauro Ranallo has signed off from the WWE, and his lack of comments make it look like he has signed a confidentiality agreement to work outside the WWE until his contract comes to an end in August. However, this week's episode of the WWE Network series, Bring It to the Table, JBL continued to make comments that angered a number of people due to his lack of sensitivity. JBL was in heel mode when he was talking about popular SmackDown Live wrestler Sami Zayn. JBL was telling co-host Corey Graves and Peter Rosenberg that Sami Zayn was not one of his favorite wrestlers, and then made jokes about things he would rather do than hang out with Sami Zayn. Quote, "I'd rather be waterboarded than to sit down and talk pro wrestling with Sami Zayn. I would rather be captured by ISIS." I repeat, captured by ISIS, than have dinner with Sami Zayn. That is fucking terrible. Who the fuck, who would say something so beyond idiotic? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you? I would rather be captured by ISIS. These are words coming out of this guy's fucking mouth. Go tell that to the various people who have been beheaded, to the families of these people who have been beheaded and fucking slaughtered and tortured by ISIS. Go tell that to them, JBL. I'm sure they want to fucking hear that, rather than having dinner with this nice guy, fucking Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a perfectly nice guy, but no. Oh, I'd rather be captured by ISIS. It's like getting my head chopped off. That's what you're comparing talking to Sami Zayn to? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Oh my God. While that seems like he's making references to current trends, that's not a fucking trend, bro. There is more to it than that. In an interview with Yahoo News from back in 2015, Zayn said he was born in Canada, but his parents were both Syrian and moved to Canada in the 70s. Sami Zayn said he was raised in a 100% Arab house and is very much an Arab when it comes to his culture and religion. I use it less and less with my parents these days since I live away from them here in Orlando, near the Performance Center, and I don't practice it that much anymore. However, I do feel 100% connected to the Arab audience. Those are words from Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn also said in an interview with ESPN that he is working hard against the demonetization of Muslims. Zayn was outspoken when it came to the Donald Trump ordered ban of travelers from Muslim-majority nations earlier this year, which included Zayn's parents' home country of Syria. Zayn said that it was important to him when he got signed to the WWE on a platform that big to educate people of the fallacies on how Muslims are viewed in America. Sami said the stereotypes are wrong and they are not that different from anyone else in the country. However, making a joke about Sami Zayn and mentioning ISIS and waterboarding might be considered bad taste by many people. Twitter was flooded with comments by fans who seemed shocked that JBL would make an ISIS joke when talking about a Muslim professional wrestler in the WWE, specifically one whose family came from Syria. It also seems to be bad timing since this week saw the United States earn a slight victory over ISIS in Syria, where 70 members of the terrorist organization just surrendered to the U.S.-led coalition in Tabak, I can't even read that, on Wednesday. In a time where racism and hatred are rising, it seems like the WWE would want to avoid these sorts of comments from their talent. But when you have a fucking idiot like JBL, it's kinda hard to do that, bro. Yet you're telling me this guy was kept on, this guy didn't face any consequences for what he said to Mauro Ranallo because he is a political face on ESPN, on these sports networks for WWE. Well, look at him. Now he's getting the company into trouble with the propaganda, with the bullshit that he's talking about, bro. Now he's getting the WWE into trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if this comment about Sami Zayn brought political trouble to WWE because of the actions, because of the dumbass that is JBL. The JBL comment might have been overlooked if not for the recent problems that arose with former commentator Mauro Ranallo, as well as many other wrestlers as well as many other wrestlers speaking out against JBL for bullying and in some cases harassment in the workplace. Unfortunately, on the same episode of Bring It to the Table, all three hosts poked fun at the Mauro Ranallo situation, which even now I really need to fucking watch that. Now I really need to watch that. Peter Rosenberg said there was controversy surrounding comments that he made about Roman Reigns. Corey Graves said there was also controversy around comments he made about Shane McMahon. When the cameras went to JBL and the wrestling world is still talking about what JBL said about Mauro Ranallo, JBL just tried to look guilty before changing the subject. Instead, JBL talked about a golf game he played the week before and ignored the bullying controversy completely. So this is absolutely fucking retarded. JBL is a retard. How the hell are you going to say something like that, bro? How professional does that sound? Unprofessional does that sound? How unprofessional does that sound, I should say. So, JBL is just crossing lines all over the place. This is also classified under bullying of Sami Zayn, if you want to classify it under that. Some people can view it that way. I view it more as a unprofessional, dumb comment, because really, if you think about the fucking families that were affected by ISIS, that's not funny at all, bro. That's not a joke. That's not a fucking joke, bro. It's stupid. It is straight up blatant stupid. It really is. It really fucking is. So I don't understand, man, why the fuck JBL is not fired yet. He's been getting WWE in a lot of PR trouble with the bullying situations. Mauro Ranallo, guys like Justin Roberts, a bunch of wrestlers are coming out under allegations that JBL has bullied them. This guy should have been fired years ago. Nonetheless, now. So, I don't know what the fuck WWE is doing. I don't care what connections this guy's giving you with ESPN and this and that and blah and shit. But this guy should be fired. This is just another fucking reason to fire the guy. And knowing how vocal Sami Zayn is on his Twitter, I'm going to be checking his Twitter now to see if Sami Zayn has anything to say about what fucking JBL has been saying about him. Because it is bullshit, and this guy needs to be gone. You're telling me you're getting rid of a Mauro Ranallo, one of the best commentators in this goddamn industry, to protect JBL? You're telling me you're paying Mauro off to keep his mouth shut to protect JBL? This guy is no more than a fucking big-mouthed, can't shut up piece of crap, and he doesn't know when to stop. He's a bully, and that needs to be dealt with. You're telling me about all this Make-A-Wish garbage. Well, look at you. The biggest wish you need to grant is to get rid of this asshole, because he's not doing you any good, and he is not making me any happy. So this needs to fucking stop, bro. This needs to completely stop, because JBL, you let this guy keep going at it. I say take him off of SmackDown, take him off of Bring It to the Table, put him on the fucking pre-show if you want to keep this guy employed. But really, this guy should be fired, boot him, fucking kick him back to Oklahoma or his fucking rugby tennis team or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. Get rid of JBL, because he is utter garbage. He's not good at commentary. He's not good at commentary, and he's not good at keeping his mouth shut. Moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a story on Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon, he was on the Stone Cold podcast recently, and he was discussing WWE superstars being scared to try new things in the ring. This is really a very interesting article, because Shane McMahon really was honest about what he thinks, bro. He was talking about superstars walking on eggshells, which is a very true thing in the WWE. Let's talk about it here. The world of professional wrestling has changed a lot over the years, as there is much more focus on safety and the health of those performing in the ring. WWE has done a lot of work to make sure their superstars are keeping themselves and their opponents safe when in matches. That is why the dynamic of the wrestling world has changed a lot from how it used to be, and Shane McMahon knows that some performers are scared to try new things. Shane McMahon is one of those guys who has not been in a ton of wrestling matches over the years, but when he is in one, he gives it his all. We've all seen him fall off of the Hell in a Cell structure, thrown off of the Titantron, and slammed face first through the window of a goddamn car. While some of the more hardcore aspects of wrestling are still taking place, there are many companies which simply don't allow a lot of them any longer. WWE is one of the promotions that focuses on safety, with no more chair shots to the head, no blading, and a huge focus being on avoiding concussions at all costs. Shane McMahon was a recent guest on the Steve Austin Show podcast to discuss a number of topics, and one of them is how some superstars are scared to try new things. They are said to be walking on eggshells, which I think is true. They're walking on eggshells with an asshole like Vince McMahon bossing them around, with Kevin Dunn putting things in Vince McMahon's ears all day. I wouldn't be surprised if they were all walking on eggshells, but they are said to be walking on eggshells because they don't want to hurt anyone or be chastised for going too far, as transcribed, Jesus Christ, by WrestleZone. Quote, this is Shane McMahon speaking. I'm sure there's some of that. The freedom to kind of try things is limited. You can try them out more on house shows. As you know, when you try certain things, you can see whether they work or don't work. When it comes to TV, there's a certain finite of the amount of time that you have. We go back to what we were speaking of originally about telling a good story. It's hard to tell a good story in format, so you either have to cut right to the heat, or whatever story you have coming out, how is that story pushing into next week, or building the story enough where you have the time to tell it and pay-per-view. So that's a big distinction. I think a lot of guys, also again with the territory days drying up, they never had the chance to go try it somewhere else, so they don't know. Shane went on to compare today's wrestling world to football, and how you may be good at the lower levels, but it won't be the same in the college and NFL. He said that that is the reason NXT is such a huge deal, because it can help with the maturing process that has sort of disappeared over the years. There are a number of independent wrestling organizations that still try to use the risk and hardcore shock factor to draw in crowds. Back in the day, ECW was a company that was an innovator of violence, but advertisers aren't willing to promote that kind of thing anymore. McMahon even stated that there were a lot of great matches that never had the violence in ECW. He said that everything had to be toned down in wrestling, and that is why WWE has turned completely PG and moved away from the PG-13 level of the Attitude Era. Shane McMahon is an interesting choice to speak on safety, as he is usually the one seen putting his body on the line in any match he is a part of. Still, he knows that WWE superstars want to try new things and innovate and stand out from the rest of the crowd so they can move up in the company. Wrestling has changed a lot in the present time, but there are still ways for male and female superstars to stand out, try new things, and keep everyone safe. I mean, Shane McMahon is definitely right here. What I found most interesting is when he's talking about them walking on eggshells, because, I mean, the superstars are walking on eggshells as far as what they can do. If they like you, which with Vince McMahon running the company, it's 50-50 really. If he likes you, you're going to get that time. You're going to be able to try new things. You're going to be able to see what you can do. If you're a success, you'll go on and you'll become a star. If you're not, if you can't put that to use, you're really going to fucking flounder, because they're really not going to be looking to help you. With guys running this company as picky as Vince McMahon, with Vince McMahon making that decision making, if he does not like you, if he does not take to you right away, bro, I mean, you can be in big, big trouble. That's why Braun Strowman's a success. You know Vince McMahon took to Strowman right away. That's why Roman Reigns is being pushed up our fucking assholes so goddamn hard, because Vince took a liking to him. I mean, as far as what you can try these days, it's really limited, bro. It really is limited. Why do you think CM Punk was such a success? Why do you think CM Punk is a fucking megastar? Because he took what the company gave him and he crossed that line, and it's a very rare, it's a very fine line, bro. It really is a very, very fine line. If you find that stride and you hit that mark so hard that they have no choice but to push you, like CM Punk went on and did, then you will become a fucking success. But there's many times, bro, where you find your stride, where you find that thing that gets you over, and they just take it away from you, bro. They take it away from you because they know that they did not make you. Look at, there's many examples of that. Look at Cesaro and Jack Swagger. They were getting over as a team. They really were. Cesaro and Jack Swagger were getting over as a tag team. What happens? You pull them out, and look where Jack Swagger is now. Gone from the WWE after years of sitting in catering, and Cesaro's in a team with Cesaro and Sheamus. Why? Because they made Cesaro and Sheamus. This was not a thing that naturally got over. This was not a thing. Look at Bad News Barrett. Look at Bad News Barrett, bro. Bad News Barrett got over. It really did. It got over on its own. This was something that was never meant to succeed. What do? Barrett gets over. What the fuck do? You pull it away from him. You make him King Barrett. You give him a fucking tinfoil crown and some bullshit scepter, and you put him in a feud with R-Truth. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? That's what you do with Wade Barrett. You really limiting what this talent can do. You really are limiting what this talent can do. And that's what Shane McMahon means when he means that you're limited. When it comes to being hardcore and fucking chair shots, you really don't need that to be successful. That really is not what makes the WWE what it is. Not a chair shot to the head or a fucking blood in a match. I mean, blood, I'd love to see blood in a match where the circumstances are fit, not like we used to see back in fucking 03, 04, 05, where every single match, every single fucking night, somebody 2 minutes in was blushing good like they had to go to the fucking hospital, bro. We don't need to see that, but it would be nice, bro. But really, the things WWE is doing now, where if it's not organically made by them, if it's organic in general, I should say, if it isn't made by them, fuck you, that really is bullshit. And that's why a lot of these guys, Jack Swagger, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, that's why they're leaving, because you really are held back. You really are limited. And that really is something that needs to fucking stop. Let's move on to the next news story here. WWE Raw and Smackdown ratings continue to drop, more like they're in the fucking toilet, bro, because nobody is watching the WWE right now. And I don't blame them, bro. I don't blame them. When you're giving us unoriginal, uninspired, bullshit storyline, I don't give a fuck. And it's being reflected in the ratings. Now, this article is saying, does the blame fall on Roman Reigns and John Cena? No, it does not. Roman Reigns and John Cena have nothing to do with the ratings dropping. I hate the fact that every single time that ratings drop, you blame a certain superstar not being there. You blame somebody for being the champion. This isn't 1995, bro, where your champion determines what the ratings look like each and every single night. This is not 1995. Nowadays, you have a collective fucking roster to make up why I want to see this show. And the fact that the ratings are falling, I mean, it's really due. Nobody ever blames it on the fact that you're just writing bullshit fucking television. I mean, really, you look at Monday Night Raw every single week, you're either falling asleep or you like it each and every single week. I've been saying this each and every single week on my Raw reviews. The consistency of these shows is in the goddamn toilet. 1 week it's good, 1 week it's bad. 1 week it's good, 1 week it's bad. Who gives a crap? If you're not going to give me consistent storyline every single week, then I simply don't care. Look at Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. 1 week you have Bray Wyatt coming out and hitting Finn Balor with the Sister Abigail, costing him a chance at the Intercontinental Championship. Next week, nobody fucking mentions a fucking word. Are you kidding me? That's how you build storyline in the WWE? Next week, nobody gives a crap anymore. Finn Balor didn't say anything. Bray Wyatt didn't say anything. They were both on Raw. Nobody said a fucking word. Nobody made a fucking peep. Yet you want me to be invested in this storyline. I don't care. I don't care. And especially with the basketball season coming back in October. Now you have fucking baseball going on every fucking Monday and Tuesday. You're fucking drid, bro. You are drid. Let's read this goddamn article. A few years ago, WWE dealt with a large number of injuries that started to plague major WWE pay-per-views. Now, however, they have much bigger problems. As ratings continue to fall ever since WrestleMania 33, the ratings for both Raw and SmackDown Live have been in steady decline. Many wonder what could be the reason, Now it appears as if the blame is being placed on Roman Reigns and John Cena. Why? I don't fucking know. Once again, the ratings for Monday Night Raw dropped to a new low for 2017, and that sinking feeling does not appear to be going away anytime soon. This may not seem like a big deal, but as reported by Wrestling Inc., it is actually the lowest audience for a Monday Night Raw episode since October of 2016. This week's Raw brought in an average of 2,696,000,000 viewers. That is fucking abysmal, bro. According to Showbuzz Daily, with the third hour having a massive 15% drop from the first hour. Yes, this show was pre-taped from London and had to compete with an NBA playoff game, but it is still discouraging. It may not be totally on Roman Reigns, but it is hard to say that he isn't a big reason for the falling ratings. He was put in the spotlight as the lead guy on Raw, though, and many fans believe he's why so many viewers are tuning out during each episode or not tuning in at all. I mean, a show where you're gonna shove some asshole down our throat as this huge fucking baby face when nobody really gives a fuck about him. I mean, fans are bound to get frustrated. This is exactly the same thing you did with John Cena a couple years ago. Now he's putting people over, Cena is. But, I mean, Roman Reigns is in that complete John Cena, just everybody hates him position. There is little doubt that Roman Reigns is seen by WWE as the top superstar on Raw right now, and that is especially true with Brock Lesnar out of the situation. On SmackDown Live, the ratings are not doing any better, and many feel as if John Cena is to blame, but for a different reason than Reigns on Raw. The Wrestling Observer reported last week that SmackDown Live recorded the lowest ratings of 2017 with an average of 2.3 million viewers. Again, abysmal. It marked the second straight week that the Tuesday night series had the lowest ratings of the year, and the NBA playoffs are responsible in big part for that as well. SmackDown does not have Randy Orton as WWE Champion, does have Randy Orton as WWE Champion, but there's little doubt that John Cena is the biggest star on Team Blue. Ever since WrestleMania 33 and his accepted proposal to Nikki Bella, Cena has taken time off of the ring. He is filming a movie called The Pact, and he is not expected back full-time for another couple months. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for SmackDown, but again, you do have AJ Styles, you do have Shinsuke Nakamura, bro, so you really should not be fucking blaming John Cena's absence for that. You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. I'm blaming it on your bullshit television writing, because so far, the writing as of us coming out of WrestleMania, it's been boring as hell. SmackDown especially should be in that same position that it was from the brand split to the end of 2016. It should be in that same position where it's building up stars and putting on fantastic television, and so far that has not been the goddamn case. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. I really don't. But it's concerning, bro. It's concerning when in this time of the year your ratings are falling to fucking 2.3 million. It really is. And it's just a terrible, terrible series of events. I know you're competing with the NBA playoffs, but even then, you should be keeping somewhere in the range where you usually are. But no, nobody's going to give a crap about whatever type of television you're putting on when you're not building new stars. And Monday Night Raw, you can also blame Braun Strowman's absence. Braun Strowman isn't going to be on Raw for 2 fucking months. He's not going to be on Monday Night Raw. 2 months. And Braun Strowman has been the best part of Monday Night Raw. So you're expecting people to tune in to Raw when the best part of Raw is not going to be there anymore? You know, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't if I was some casual fan. I wouldn't. I mean, nobody wants to see Roman Reigns as your Intercontinental Champion. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns beating every single guy with a Superman punch and a spear, and it's over. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. And until they stop and they build new stars and they position people in better fucking places and they give their talent time to shine and they stop it with the constant commercial breaks and they get rid of that third hour that fucking drops their ratings so goddamn low. Every third hour, I always look at the ratings every single week. You look at hour 1, it did 3 million. Look at hour 2, it did 3.1 or 3.15 million. Then you look at hour 3, and you're dropping to 2.8, you're dropping to 2.9. Nobody gives a fuck about that third hour. It's just one too many. By then, you're sleeping, you gathered your pillow, you gathered your blanket, and you're in bed. I'm done with the fucking night. Because, first of all, most of these shows are fucking boring as hell because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Second of all, a lot of the things going on here are frustrating because you're seeing guys like Apollo Crews, you're seeing guys like Bray Wyatt be underutilized, and you're seeing the potential. Even in your mind, you're seeing the potential, and you're feeling like you're booking a better show in your head than they are on television. Why the hell is a staff of creative writers, fucking 15, 30 guys in a creative room, booking worse television than a guy just casually watching Monday Night Raw every week? Why? It really shouldn't be the fucking case. And I'm constantly seeing fucking people in the comment sections of videos booking better shows than 15 or 30 guys in a creative staff room. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. Because people, realistically, are only watching wrestling from the end of the Super Bowl to WrestleMania. And I know that can change. I really do. Instead of keeping your Universal Champion off of TV for fucking God knows how long, and focusing on putting all your energy into Roman Reigns, winning this title, winning that title, beating that guy, beating this guy, maybe you should focus on building new stars and putting on some good fucking storyline. So don't blame Roman Reigns. Don't blame the absence of John Cena. Blame your bullshit fucking story writing. So that is what I have to say about this storyline. Really, nobody should be being blamed except the creative team and the creative staff of WWE. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I am going to cut it off there for now. This has been Behind the Mic, episode number 19. I hope you enjoyed every single thing that you have heard in this video. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the channel. Raw and Smackdown reviews are up for this week, so make sure to go check out that good stuff, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed what you heard here. Make sure to comment on what you think on these news stories, because I would love to hear your opinion. And make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel if you enjoyed what you heard here, because for now, this has been Joel Perez over Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.